you think it's a good thing for a guy to be vulnerable? Do you think men should be more in touch with their emotions? Do you think men have an issue with that? Men are not in touch with their emotions. Men have a difficulty being vulnerable.
Yeah, I think men definitely have an issue being vulnerable, but understandably so. I think people use it against them, both men and women. So I get why it could be really hard for men to open up, but I definitely think they should be more open. And that's why I think it's important to have that safe space, like a woman.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I definitely think, like, being vulnerable is, like, it's pretty important, but there's also, I think, like, a little bit of a point where being too vulnerable is, like, kind of an issue, But, like, at the same time, we should be, like, kind of more in touch with, like, emotions, and when you're in a relationship, at least, be a little vulnerable.
I agree. I think it's important for them to be pretty vulnerable to a certain extent, and, like, not super closed off, because, I don't know, I feel like that could cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, I feel like definitely in our society, men are forced to not be as vulnerable, and that obviously sucks, and I think that they should be, because if you're, like, for an example, if you're at work and you're, like, frustrated with something and you come back and you talk to your girlfriend about it and you guys really digest, like, what is going on, like, what is making you angry, it could be, like, literally something from, like, your childhood trauma, where you're just like, oh, that's why that makes me upset, because I had to deal with that growing up. And then you kind of figure that out, and then you can slowly learn how to, once you see what the problem is, you can kind of learn how to work through it and work with it.
I mean, I don't want my man to be a little bitch, right? Like, nobody wants that.
Well, exactly.
But
exactly.
But here's the thing. Knowing how society is progressing nowadays, I mean, the exit rate for a man,
Can I have you straighten your mic a little bit?
Here? Here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The exiting rate for a man is much higher than a woman, because they don't get to talk about all that. It all gets built up.
I don't think it's because they're not talking about their feelings.
I feel like
I don't think that's the reason.
The suppression of it. The suppression. I feel like, yes, I don't want my man to be a little bitch, but I do want him at night to lay his head down on me and be like, I feel safe.
My understanding, and I don't recall the exact quote on this, but I think so. Like, if we're referencing talk therapy, my understanding is that talk therapy is more effective for women than it is for men, because I think men and women are different. Men and women work through things differently. So again, I don't think men are deleting themselves at higher rates because they're not talking about their problems.
But do you think
I think men are talking about their problems, and I think I gotta take this. I think the reason that men are deleting themselves is because nobody gives a fuck about their problems.
That's not true. You find the right partner, that person will go to the ends of the earth for you. They will. They will be there with you.
Yeah, but okay. Well, I mean, I'm talking more on a societal level, but
I agree that you don't want to open up. Okay, you guys been dating for 2 weeks. Don't trauma dump. Don't do it. Yeah. But if you're at a place where you've been in a relationship for a long time, you're married, you've been together for 10 years, talk to me about your problems. Because if I don't know what's going on with you and something traumatic happens, like deleting yourself,
okay,
it's like,
that's a very specific thing. I'm not like, I think when we're talking about being vulnerable and being open with our emotions, we're not talking about that.
But
I think we're talking about
that.
More like generalized things.
Yeah, I mean, don't be a bitch in the first couple years.
Couple years?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Don't be a bitch in the first,
Okay, yeah.
Like,
here,
just,
what about you? Go ahead.
I honestly think I'd be offended if they felt like they couldn't be vulnerable with me. Like, not obviously, like she said, like, it can't be like dating for 2 weeks and be like, like whatever. But like, if it's like, like we're like dating, like we're boyfriend and girlfriend, we're dating, like I feel like you should have every right to be vulnerable with your partner. And I said, would be upset if you didn't feel like you could be.
Okay.
And I would definitely think I was doing something wrong.
I think that it's a good thing that a man should be vulnerable, but then I also feel like people are so different, and Like some people thrive off getting other people's opinions and being able to talk and like open up and listen to like what another person is saying, but then other people thrive off solving their own problems by themselves. So I feel like everyone is different in that sense.
Sure. Hey, Nick, you can play it. It's just her doing some dumb fucking dance or something. I wanted this man to be vulnerable with me for so long. He finally called me yesterday and opened up, but the second he started crying, I lost all interest in him quickly. This is a safe space, but not that safe.
That woman don't love him.
It's a
She
fucking
don't
cold
love him.
world.
No.
She's a
You
cold
can
ass bitch.
make sure to put the audio back on, Nick. So, I mean, that's kind of the reality, though, when it comes to this topic. It's like you claim that you guys want the vulnerability, but when we're vulnerable, at least in my experience, I don't know, in your experience, Ryan, there tends to be, I've noticed, a palpable shift in the relationship. I had one experience where this girl was super fucking into me, and I was vulnerable in front of her. Immediately we start having arguments. Immediately, it just was like night and fucking day. She starts arguing with me. Things start changing up, and within a month we broke up. So I think a lot of women say they want to like have a vulnerable guy, but when a guy is vulnerable, I think a lot of women will, whether on a conscious level or not, they will end up punishing that vulnerability.
I mean, it's a two-way street, right? Like,
is it? I think
you don't think
men-
it's a two-way street? I feel like in a sense of like,
But
you
there's
gotta
this-
be vulnerable with the right woman. A woman that's still gonna respect you.
I think most, like, there's also this other, let me ask, if you guys saw your boyfriend get into a fight with somebody and your boyfriend got fucked up, would you be a little like, I mean, maybe you'd take care of him, but you'd be like a little fucking turned off if you got fucking scorched in a fight. Hold on.
No.
Go ahead, answer.
I think that would be probably embarrassing for him, so I'd want to make him like feel better and like not.
You would, he just got fucked.
But like that's embarrassing.
fucked up. It's embarrassing. Go ahead.
So embarrassing. Like, I mean, I guess I get it. Like, it's just embarrassing to see someone lose a fight because they're just like, ooh, like, then they're like getting up and they look all fucked up, and you're just like, ooh.
Sophie, what about you?
Yeah, it's a little bit of yeah, it's embarrassing.
That actually happened to me. We used to have like these fight nights in our hometown,
What
and my
the
boyfriend
fuck?
participated in one of them. He literally got thrown to the floor. This is the cheating one, and like it was definitely slightly embarrassing because like my whole high school was there, and everyone knew I was dating him. But at the end of the day, I still did comfort him despite his loss.
But were you kind of like,
Yes, I was.
how?
Like,
What
"Whew."
did you articulate it though? Articulate it.
Well, I mean, I was literally like hugging him, like, you're okay. Like, but inside I was like, oof, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you putting yourself in this position?
Okay.
But not.
Why are you
men.
fighting someone in the first?
Okay,
I don't
so
wanna hear
you-
someone fighting someone in the first
Yeah,
place.
It was embarrassing
like,
that he
why?
put himself in the position, not that he lost.
Here, let me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Okay. I
exact-
mean, that's
okay.
a little
Yeah.
bit different.
Okay.
Let me try to reframe this a little bit. You're out with your boyfriend at a party. Again, here's another reason why you shouldn't go out partying. Some dude steps to you and says some rude, inappropriate remark. Do you look towards your boyfriend to intervene?
Yeah.
Do you want him to either verbally confront him or maybe even physically confront him?
Verbally.
Yeah.
Verbally?
I think, like,
the other guy's drunk. Now it's starting to escalate to now a physical confrontation. Your boyfriend gets scorched the fuck up and knocked out by the dude.
Knocked out.
I wouldn't date someone who like I'd want him to just be like walk away. Like
But when it comes to like
I
this shit can escalate very quickly, especially if alcohol's involved. So your boyfriend, okay, yo, what the fuck? Don't touch my girlfriend, blah blah blah. And he's like, what, bitch?
No, what?
No,
Nothing.
not to you. Like the guy says it to your boyfriend, and then they take their shirts off.
I just think it's immature.
that's
Like I'd rather have like a mature guy who's like,
But-
this isn't worth my time. Like let's just walk away. Like this guy's an idiot. Like why?
But
I'm not wasting.
he might not have the opportunity in a self-defense situation to walk
Like
away.
he gets decked in the face. I'd rather him not like get up and like start. Like I'd rather him just.
You
be
wouldn't
like,
want him to defend himself?
Well, if the guy kept trying to like, I'd rather him.
What if your boyfriend was on the ground going like,
That's even
that
worse.
wouldn't be a turn off.
Damn, I mean, is her boyfriend like 5 foot nothing and the
Yeah.
man's like 6'2"? Like, what's going on here?
I'm just saying, like,